Hey everybody. I was driving back from Monroe, Iowa today, and I saw a 65, 66 maybe notchback Mustang that had a number 26 on the door, probably because they do autocross or something. And it made me think of a number that I used to have on my old race car Turbo, and that number is 35. People wonder where that 35 came from. You know, when I used to have that car, people would ask me. 2003 and 2005, those were the years that my nephews were born. My nephew's mom and dad really aren't into cars per se, but I think my nephews have had enough of an opportunity to be around them with me. Starting out where my nephew Aaron was like this with my father before he passed away, and then Wyatt ended up being born just about a month before he died, so Dad got to see Wyatt. Well, when we had a time period where the boys were very, very little and we were still dealing with Dad passing on, I used to take opportunities to do things with them. One of the opportunities I took was my old Volvo when I first started modifying it, very first, long ago. Wyatt was about 4 and Aaron was probably about 6, and I decided I was going to paint my brake calipers. And there was no thought in my mind, like a 4-year-old can't do this kind of work. I don't know why I would even ask. That's not what I thought. My first thought was include the boys in what I was doing. So I took the wheels off the car, put it on jack stands, and I gave a wire brush and some brake cleaner to my nephew Aaron, who was 6. And I went around the car with my nephew Wyatt, again, who was 4 at the time, painting brake calipers. And I think that set a precedent for me where I understood that just because of a child's age doesn't always mean they're not capable of doing things. Well, since then, I've lived here in Iowa. They've been a big part of things. We had a car show in Ankeny, Iowa, where I went to college at DMAC, and my nephew Aaron came to that. A lot of different cars. In fact, at that car show, he was there with me, Heath, and Joe, and Sid. But one of the biggest things, the biggest connections, like I always talk about people and connections, well, one of the biggest connections he made at that car show was my friend Kanishka, who has a doctorate in chemistry. Well, Aaron's going for his doctorate in engineering here. In the next few years, he'll have that. So he made a connection with Kanishka, and the two of them were able to talk because Aaron is incredibly intelligent. Since then, Kanishka has gone down to the school that he goes to, the Institute of Science and Technology in Rolla, Missouri. Kanishka's come with me, and that wouldn't have happened had they not made that connection at the Ankeny car show. The other thing about that day was when we came back, I thought to myself, I asked him, would you like to learn how to drive a standard transmission car, a stick shift? Because his mom actually learned on that car. Now, after the engine swap in that car, it was a very different car, but still the same car. So he said yes. So we went to a church parking lot that was completely empty, and Aaron drove a standard transmission car for the first time. Then Wyatt ended up coming here for a car show in Monroe, Iowa, and the same people, Joe and Heath, and Matt was actually there for the first time with his hybrid car. And Wyatt got to meet all of those people, including Kanishka, who came back. Now, Kanishka doesn't have any cars, and he doesn't have anything to show at the show, but he comes just to support the people who are there. But Wyatt was able to be a part of that. And then when I got back to Kansas, the old red truck that I talk about, the custom deluxe that my mom has, Wyatt was able to learn how to drive a standard transmission on that one. So one of the positives for me is that I was able to teach Aaron how to drive a stick on the car his mom learned on, and I got to teach Wyatt how to drive a stick on his grandpa's truck. So when people ask why the Lucky 35 means something to me, it's because of 2005 and 2003. All right, guys, hope you have a good day.